Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Ajwritescrypto, and today I want to go over a pick that I gave you 2 weeks ago, and since then, there has been some insane developments. The ticker for this project is EPIC. It's pretty epic to me, and at the time, it was 848 by market cap. Things have changed, and this RWA project is backed by Ripple, and that is, things are getting crazy. Things are getting pretty epic, if you don't mind me using the dad joke there. All right, look at this. It was 848 by market cap when I first told you about this 2 weeks ago. Currently 395, has fought its way into the top 400 now. And you got to think to yourself, this tweet right here, I really like this tweet right here by Adam Batcher. It says, XRP never had a real side bet. Solana did. Bonk and Jupiter both sit in the billions. But Epic is a micro cap with Ripple ties. That's my catch-up trade. And that's a really solid. You got to think to yourself, look at what happened with Bonk and Jupe and Pyth and all Solana side bets. XRP never had a side bet. It's a really big deal for a coin that at the time 2 weeks ago was outside the top 800 to get to say the 3 words, backed by Ripple. And those 3 words have already taken it now into the top 400. And I have some information. I think in the next 2 to maybe 6 weeks, things are going to get crazy with this coin. So why the come up? Why the come up, right? Well, let's look at it. First of all, it has a Binance listing. Out of all the RWA projects out there, this is the smallest market cap coin with a Binance listing. Not to mention it's on MEXC, it's on KuCoin. In case you were wondering if it's on Bitunix, which is my exchange of choice. Let's check it, EPIC. Boom, there it is right there. You can perpetual trade it, you can leverage trade it, or you can spot buy it right there on Bitunix. If you want to sign up for Bitunix, click the link down below. Get going trading on Epic. Not to mention the website, completely rebranded, completely different website than the one I showed you 2 weeks ago on this channel. And they're saying it. They're coming out and saying this. This is the big change they've made. The world's fastest growing RWA ecosystem. Epic is building the world's first RWA superstructure. That's a good word. Aligning institutions and consumers across every major asset class. And right there, backed by RWA, First Capital, and partners, Ripple, Ethereal Labs, Brinks, and Chainlink also on board. Ripple and Chainlink both back this project, and that explains why you saw a jump from outside of the top 800 into inside the top 400. You also kind of have to think to yourself, it has that Binance listing, right? The average spot project on Binance has a $300 million market cap. Right now, as you can see on the screen, the market cap for Epic Chain is now 83.1 million. So kind of do the math there. Not to mention the average spot and perpetual project on Binance is 750 million by market cap, where Epic once again has both. That's almost a 10x from where Epic sits now, just based off of the average projects on Binance. And I think that this thing has insane potential. First, I want to talk about a couple things. Remember, this was Eternity. It rebranded, but it kept a lot of the cool parts with it, like some of the backings and some of the people involved and stuff like that. So just remember, this is the rebrand from Eternity. At the time, that was not backed by XRP. Once it rebranded, it was backed by XRP. And like I said, XRP has never had a side bet. This is it right here on Twitter. The fastest growing RWA ecosystem backed by Ripple. There's a couple tweets here that I want to talk about from their page. Where's the first one? Right here. Epic is rapidly expanding to become one of the fastest growing RWA ecosystems in 150 countries. Fanable, which is the flagship project on native to Epic Chain, has generated over $1.2 million in annual fees on chain and is rapidly becoming the leading RWA product in the consumer goods sector. And like I said, they're building the RWA superstructure, encompassing every sector that captures real-world asset value involving the world's leading institutions and consumers in every major asset class. What does that mean? I think that's kind of explained by this next tweet right here. Epic's new infrastructure turns real estate, credit, and commodities into activated assets built to move across staking, spending, and structured yield, designed for composability, and motion, not idle storage. Epic brings real world value on chain with purpose. And guys, like I said, align with XRP. Right here, Epic is building the most complete infrastructure stack for tokenized real-world assets, unifying real estate, credit, commodities, collectibles, all under one composable platform. I mean, guys, you can't deny the three most powerful letters in crypto. The 2021, it was the metaverse. In 2025, coming into 2026, it's RWA. And finally, XRP has their foot in the door to have RWA, and their foot in the door is an Epic shoe. It's an Epic one of a kind Jordan 4. This is XRP's RWA play, and they're doing it through Epic. That is why you've seen the jump from outside the top 800 to inside the top 400. Also, if you want to learn more about Epic Chain, there is a Twitter space that is happening August 21st. That's this Thursday, with Adrian Bashchuk, the CEO of Epic Chain, with Dr. Martin Heisboik, the head of research at Uphold. Make sure you check out this space because they're really going to do a deep dive into the superstructure on the XRP ledger and, you know, the global growth initiatives and a bunch of interesting topics such as institutional grade compliance and things like that. Remember, guys, they've literally changed their bio in the past 2 weeks to the world's fastest growing RWA ecosystem. And here's the three words that matter: backed by Ripple. And I gave you some price points. I gave you some technical analysis in the last video. This circle, that circle right here is the day I posted the video. And I said, okay, we have support resistance level at 194. 194 is obviously our long alarm. And our first target here is 210 from support resistance back there. And I told you guys at the time, if that 194 alarm goes off, go long. And right there, we already have about an 8.5% target built in. So what happened here? Let's press play on the replay and figure out what happened. Our alarm hasn't gone off. There's our alarm right there. It wiggled a little bit and boom, there it goes. There it goes. And right there, let's pause this right here. So we got our alarm. We went through and we actually pumped all the way up 27%. From 18 hours from the alarm. 27% is what I mean, that's insane gain. So at that point, we need to draw that line and we need to set that new alarm at 246. Not to mention it has another support resistance level right here at 238. So let's see what happened. Let's press play again. Okay, so it retests. It bounces off 210. It actually comes back under 194. And there again, I'll press pause again. Right here. Right there, you could have shorted at 210 to target 194 because we can use our alarms both ways. And then the 194 alarm goes off again. And this same target that we used before from 194, we could have literally double dipped this 28% trade 2 separate times from the 194 alarm. Now let's press play again and finish the replay and see where we are now. And this is currently where Epic sits. So if we're just going from the 194 alarm that I initially gave you, it bottom to top pumped 58% from that alarm. From the bottom, from the complete bottom, I think it's like a 70%, an 80% pump bottom to top. And now it's hanging up and looks, what's really interesting about where it is that we have this previous high here at 316. That is now a target. Also, I would consider some big support resistance right here from where it is around 284 from this previous high here, and has once again double dipped right there as well. So there are certainly some more alarms here that you can be setting. It obviously had a really solid pump 2 separate times from the 194 alarm that I gave you on the show the first time I covered it. And guys, I'm just going to kind of close the video with hitting it home that this project is now inside the top 400. It is XRP's, it is Ripple's play into the RWA ecosystem. It has a Binance listing, and from what I hear, in the next 2 to 6 weeks, things are going to get even crazier for this project. It has all the major listings, it's super accessible, and it's backed by Ripple. Already from outside the top 800 to inside the top 400 in 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, I gave you this project. It jumped from 8 to 4. It's going to keep going from 4 to 2 and maybe into the top 100. I will keep you updated on this coin. It is available on Bitunix. Make sure to click the link down below if you want to get some Epic Chain, but get that on Bitunix. There is so much more to this project. They are rebranding. Things are happening fast. And like I said, in the next 2 to 6 weeks, things are going to get pretty epic around here. I'm excited. I'm glad that I was able to give you guys this project, to give you guys these gains. That's what it's all about. I want to make you guys as much money as possible. And we are approaching a year and a half after the halving. The end of this year, from now on, things are going to get crazy. I don't want you to miss a thing. Ring the bell for notifications, smash the like button, subscribe, all the things. I want to thank Epic for sponsoring this video. Have a safe rest of your day. Get rich or get wrecked. Let's get that money. Peace out.